Hello, Elevated Planet community. This is John Drew here.
And Jolé, Gabrielle. And today we have quite the show in store for you. We have 4 videos which we'll be showing you today, and John is going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, we have a bit of a treat in store today. And as per the invitation, really, the thing that we're trying to do here, we're setting the scene for changing times. That's really what it's all about. And there's good reasons to keep planting the seeds of change because it's to help build preparedness for the community because this year is going to be a year of change. So exciting times await. So I'm not going to talk too much about that second part because I know that Jolé has a lot of really good stuff to talk about there, which leads us into the meditation. So Jolé, can I bring you back in?
Yes, and we talk about duality. And I guess that could be what some say, well, that's the struggle, right? Is the duality between the right or the dark and the light. And the dark is so important, and some might look at it as the ego. She touched on that, the um, integration of the ego and the id, the right and the left brain, the masculine and the feminine, is always kind of what can trip us up. We have inner child, outer child, and all these bits and pieces of ourselves that have been labeled that, I guess, manifest those behaviors. So it's just so, oh, it's okay for us to allow for the dark to inform the light. Let me close my eyes and slow down. And the way that we do that is through self acceptance, as I said, but also in stop denying your behavior, your darkness. We're all triggered, no matter what level you are on. If you think some of these greats that you look at and watch are always that way every day, we're deluding ourselves. The creator gives us emotions and gives us reactions for a reason. And it's for us to align, to better align with ourselves and to learn as to what works and what doesn't, and to what to allow into our lives and what to say no thank you to, and how to set boundaries. So the dark and our ego is there to protect us. And then that's where fear propagates and really grows. So what we can do is, what is fear? Fear is what? Anger turned inward, or sadness, all of that good stuff. So what we can do is, once we learn how to send that anger out of us, we can then get out of denial about the ways in which the dark and the light are fighting. And we can say, hey, let's integrate, let's sit down and let's learn how to work with one another. And that ego, once we realize that it's there only to protect us, then we can start saying, hey, you default to messages from my higher self, right? So I'm basically giving you a kind of step-by-step process that you can do in those times where you're fighting with yourself. You say, ego, wait a minute. Let's default to the messages and the guidance from the higher self. But if you don't know you have a higher self, how do you know to do that? Right? So these are all parts of your soul architecture. So today, as we move into our meditation, I'd just like to really help us to integrate the dark and the light, and to learn how to use the dark to inform the light and to help us move. Because oftentimes when we don't honor the darkness within, we are immobilized, because what's happening is we're creating dissonance in our lives. And when we have that cognitive dissonance, we don't move. So part of that comes from our fear of embracing the darker parts of us and turning them into something that is fuel.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, because everything comes into balance, and that includes us, as our own little personal universe, doesn't it? There has to be the light and the dark, and it is, what you say makes so much sense to me. But we're almost like afraid of the shadow aspect, but working with it together like that, I love that. So should we go to our screen, our copper wire
Yes.
spiral? We've got
And so as we always want to begin, with our feet flat on the floor, our palms face up on our thighs. For those of you laying down, please just bend your knees and keep your feet flat for the beginning part of this meditation. as we start from the center of our chest, breathing with the rhythm of our bodies. Take a few deep breaths and then bring your awareness to between your sit bones as you ground your energy with a beautiful grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter and of an earth element. You're going to see this energy move down through what you're sitting or laying on, down through the earth, the crust, through what's called the lithosphere, and then the asthenosphere, and then into the core. You grow roots. You're going to pull your aura layer in, or your personal space. Yes, you are in control of that, to be 1.5 feet around you. You're going to call that highest part of you, known as your higher self, back above you, and your astral body, which is that travels when you're sleeping to gather information and positive energy, so that when you wake up, you can start your day. Snap that back into your body. And now your soul architecture is put together. So now we're going to do what is called running energy. So I'd like you to create, visualize, or imagine the bottoms of your feet opening like the lens of a camera as you call in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. Red for activity, creativity is orange, healing is green and blue, and soothing energy as well. So you can call in the living waters of Mother Earth, the healing energy, the wind, anything that you feel that you need. As you open up that crown, again, like you would the lens of a camera, nice and wide, and calling in 85% cosmic old life force energy from the divine creator, cascading down throughout your body, filling up your head, moving down throughout all your organs of your body, mixing in with that earth energy as it begins to fill you up like water fills up a cup. Every single cell in your body is turning heart-shaped. And all of this is doing its thing, cleaning out any disease, any illness, anything that no longer serves you. Let this happen as you breathe with the rhythm of your body and bring your awareness to the center of your head. And as we've learned many times, we have 2 hemispheres to our brain, right and left. We want to integrate this. And so we can always see this visual of the 2 sides of our brain, one representing the ego, one representing the id, and the higher self that sits above. And so both of these, the ego and the id, the male and the female, the right and the left, we're going to see these energies integrate with each other. So we create this light being, whatever side or light energy, and then we see that move into the darkness, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And we see some of that darkness move over into the light. And then this energy begins to communicate with the higher self. And the higher self then brings energy down the center of your head and allows for these energies to integrate and dance with one another, creating a beautiful synergy or movement that is going to allow you to create outside of your brow. You're projecting this positive energy of peace and calm, of the light and the dark integrating, and while being guided from that higher self, the ego, the id, the masculine, the feminine, the right brain and the left brain, communicating and working together in a sense of peace for the highest and the best, as it takes its instructions from that highest part of you. So create that. For me, I create a pyramid. These energies going back and forth, and these energies going up and down, communicating with one another instead of being in silos away from each other, which causes a dissonance. So I want you to see that beautiful pyramid of light mixed in or bordered by whatever that dark energy is. The dark energy solidifies the light, but the light is what animates, infiltrates that dark energy, allowing for it to create movement, positive movement, right? Positive movement within your life, within your body, within your environment. So keep that pyramid above your head, right brain, left brain communicating, moving energy up to the higher self as that energy from the higher self moves back down, whatever direction you want it to go in, switching that direction depending upon what you're doing. Do you need to critically think? Maybe we need to shift it from right to left, up to the higher self, back down to the right brain, right? Maybe we need to be creative, move that energy from the left to the right, up into the higher self, back down to the left. This energy is what's going to help you move, create, and manifest. This powerful pyramid of the dark and the light integrated, listening to the higher self, that masculine and feminine energy, dancing with each other, moving you forward towards your goals and your success. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Close your feet chakras like you would the lens of a camera. Stop running energy. Close down just gently your crown, knowing that that part of the brain, that pyramid, that divine pyramid, is permanent. It's going nowhere. It's there. And when you tap into it, it's going to move as you command. So leave that in place. But close down your crown and stop running energy and allow for all of this energy to integrate with your own as you sit in the center of your chest, knowing that every cell in your body is shaped as love and as joy, all the way out into that aura layer. And those bounds and those boundaries that may seem dark are only there to show you the difference between where you end and begin and another person or entity ends and begins. So that dark is informing the light. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Got a little bit of jungle going on there.
Yeah, get primal. You know,
Yes,
sometimes that primal energy is the stuff that heals.
yes. That 639 hertz backing track,
Yes.
maybe a little bit louder than it should have been, Jolé. I apologize for that. But
Oh,
uh,
no worries, no worries.
yeah, but no, it was a beautiful meditation. The pyramid idea, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna keep working on that because I
Yes.
there's a lot to what you say. I love this idea of the duality, the integrating of the dark and the light. It just makes sense.
The darkness is just there to help you create boundaries. Now that we have identified it, now we can put it to good use. Sometimes we have issues with our ego because it doesn't have anything to do. So give your ego something to do, give it a problem to solve, you know, and then it engages and it can then take the messages from the higher self. See, we don't know these things. So we're out here treading water.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people. So thank you, Jolé. That's wonderful.
Thank you.